Hey guys, let's fix our leaking seat valve. You can see on top of that transmission cover all the oil down around there, and it's dripping out of that seat valve, the green valve that's lit up really bright with the hose coming out of it. So what we got, here's our accumulator for the seat. That's what gives our seat that cushion. And this is the valve. When you turn that dial to the left of the seat for the firm soft, that's this right here. I had it off because of doing the interior. So it's not that bad of a deal. It's just kind of a pain in the butt because it's up there. That you can see where the black hose and the green pipe crisscross. There's a bolt head right there. That's pretty much the bolt that holds it on. But we do have a couple hoses there. And then we come into the cab. And we got to get, so you saw the green body and the black cylinder. Well, here's the black cylinder coming up into our cab. So we just take this lever off, and then there's a pin. You can see, get the hairpin right out of there, right here. There's a pin at the top of that cylinder shaft. We just pull that pin out. If that pin refuses to come out, you can take that mounting bolt for the seat, and that lines up good enough to get a punch through there. But yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's not that terrible at the same time. So let's tear it apart, see what we can find where the leak is coming from. Put that block of wood in there to help keep that seat high so a guy can work on it. Get this guy out of there. Well, there we go. Let's clean her up and try and see. Before we clean up, I like to look at the oil. So we can see we got a ton of oil down here. Up here, it's dry. It's like weep, maybe air swirling around, whatever. But the leak up here doesn't seem to be, it doesn't seem to be leaking from up here. It seems where it's wet is where it's wet. So sometimes your dirt can tell you what you're looking for. I don't know how good you guys can see. See some little bubbling just to the right of the air nozzle where the base of that cylinder meets the mounting there. And that's where our leak is. The leak is right there. The bad part is there is no rebuilding of this cylinder assembly. So the whole other valve, this other valve assembly, you obviously have the O-ring where the cylinder mounted, and then every fitting, there's usually a couple, well, we got it apart since this shaft slides up and down. We got some little O-rings to put behind here. Same for this shaft. I dropped the stupid valve and I broke this little arm here. But we got O-rings in here that's rebuildable. So the valve body itself is very rebuildable. The cylinder is not. So I guess call the parts guy and get another one coming. So the other cylinder was leaking. I priced it out. John Deere wanted almost $600. It was like $570 some. And then to save on freight, charge. You know, you would have had to wait several days to get it. I found a used one. He only wanted 300 bucks, but he would not separate the valve body from the cylinder. So for $300, I got a valve body and the cylinder, and this is out of a 55 series where they're welded down here, where the 40 series, it's a press fit. And this one looks like it was not leaking at all. So we have a good valve body that can go back in the parts shelf. We can quote unquote reman it. Just need some seals and O-rings up here, and then just new O-rings on all your fittings and whatnot. And that can go in the parts box and just wait its turn, and then someday it will go on a tractor. But all right, well, let's get this guy installed and keep working. Overall, this isn't a bad project. It's another one of them great do-it-yourselfers on a Saturday afternoon to fix an annoying leak. This is the worst part, is getting the bolt back into place. So you need a long pry bar, or I use my ratchet extensions because that's what I had here, to kind of snag it and hold it up. And then on the back side, there's a nub on the cab that is the same as this casting here. And so you can just kind of feel, and move around and feel that bolt find that hole. Otherwise, you're reaching way in the cab, you know, very much area, and you can't get both hands in there. So we got everything back together. Everything went good. This lever, there's a whoops. You know what? Boy, if a guy's working in these cabs, you almost got to disconnect that horn. I hit that thing 99 times. This bolt here, it's got a spring on it, and that sets the tension. And then there's a jam nut back inside. There's a big nut and a little tiny jam nut, and that's how you lock that bolt in place. If you don't put that jam nut on the back side, as you move this lever, that bolt will eventually just kind of wiggle its way out of there and loosen up. And then when you sit on the seat, or the seat does the suspension, it will adjust your ride height on ya. But yeah, so I just got to put that jam nut on there and get that foam insulation around, and let's give it a try and see if it works. Looks pretty good. On the other cylinder, you'd be able to see it leaking. It would just drip, 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 but this one looks really good. So, all right, well, let's button her up.